few comments as well.
Hello, my name is Bill Del Bagno. I'm the special agent in charge of the Baltimore field office. First and foremost, I want to say that our hearts go out to everyone that is impacted by this tragedy, especially the victims and their families. On behalf of the FBI, I would like to say that we are with you, we're with Baltimore, and we're with the partners every step of the way. The FBI, on very first, looking at and assessing this matter from an investigative standpoint, I want to be clear that there is no specific or credible information to suggest that there are ties to terrorism in this incident. The FBI has been part of this response from the beginning. We came within 1 hour to the command post and quickly lashed up with our very strong partners all along the way. We will bring whatever resources that the FBI has to bear. We've already brought our crisis response, our victim services, and just recently, our underwater search evidence recovery teams are on site. And we will continue to provide all those resources as long as it takes. The investigation goes on. We'll take it to its logical conclusion along with our partners. To the people of Baltimore, to the public, I ask you to be patient as we go through this and as information becomes available to us. And lastly, I want to say thank you. Thank you to our partners. Thank you to everyone who in the FBI and counts on the FBI. We will always bring what we need to the people of Baltimore, and we are with you. I'd next like to introduce the Coast Guard.
Good morning. The Coast Guard is still actively searching at this time. We are using response boat crews from 2 of our local Coast Guard stations, one of our helo crews from at Air Station Atlantic City, and also one of our cutter crews on one of our 87-foot patrol boats. We will continue to work with our local, state, and federal partners during this tragedy. Thank you.
We'll take some questions. Everyone, we're going to start from this side.
Governor, as far as you are aware, was the collapse of that bridge inevitable as that ship hit that part of the bridge?
No, we're still in the process of investigating exactly what happened. So we don't have any further details about whether or not it was inevitable or not.
But no structural issue with the bridge?
No, there was. In fact, the bridge was actually fully up to code, so we have no further information about what happened during that time.
Governor, is all shipping in and out of the port now stopped completely? And do you have any estimate very early on as to how long it will be before shipping can resume to the Port of Baltimore?
Yeah, we don't have any estimates on timeline because right now our exclusive focus is on saving lives. Our exclusive focus is on search and rescue.
Everyone, let's move over to the middle.
Could you give us a better sense for the number? Because we had heard, I know Mr. Wiedefeld said 1 had been rescued, but earlier from Baltimore we heard that 2 had been rescued. Can you tell us the total numbers we're talking about that that you're searching for, and how many have been rescued?
Well,
There are 8 individuals. 6 are being searched for right now. 1 is was taken to the hospital, and 1 is not in the hospital that we're speaking to.
So 6 unaccounted for?
Yes.
And does that involve individuals that may have been in vehicles that went in the water?
Is that just the
Do we know?
We believe it's a construction crew.
Okay, so we don't think there's anyone in vehicles in the water?
No, we do not believe so.
Okay, we'll take questions right here. Take this question here.
Governor, 2 questions. How quickly did you find out about what happened here, and what was your reaction when you heard the scale of what just occurred at that bridge earlier today?
well, I mean, I think it was probably within minutes of everything, less than an hour, when I know that my phone first rang. And first from the mayor of Baltimore and also from our chief of staff. And it was, we know the Key Bridge. I've ridden over the Key Bridge countless times. So many of us know the Key Bridge because it is our normal commute. This is a place that is a normal commute route for over 30,000 Marylanders every single day. And so to hear the words that the Key Bridge has collapsed, it's shocking and heartbreaking. And immediately, the first thought and the first ideas go back to what happened to the people, what was the impact on human life. But for every single one of us who are Marylanders, the words that the Key Bridge is gone, it still shakes us, because for 47 years, that's all we've known. And so this is not just unprecedented from what we're seeing and what we're looking at today. It's heartbreaking.
Governor, can you confirm that the crew on the ship alerted authorities that it had lost propulsion and was in trouble?
We can confirm that the crew notified authorities of a power issue. Yes.
And that they had lost power on the ship.
Yes.
Was there any ability to shut down the bridge? Chris, we're gonna take the question right here, Church.
Total of 8, excuse me, a total of 8, 1 rescued and in hospital, 1 not in hospital, but it is, we have communicated with that person, and then 6 that we are searching for.
And all construction workers working on the pothole? Were all 8 of them?
Yes, they were all related to the construction program,
So
yes.
we heard that multiple vehicles went into the water. Any word on how many vehicles went into the water and the condition of those people that were in the vehicles?
Not at this time.
All right, we're gonna shift over here.
Was there any way to shut down the bridge? Was there enough time for that distress call to trigger something like that?
Now, the thing that we know is that, even as the boat was coming in, we had a ship that was coming in at 8 knots. So coming in at a very rapid speed. We do know that the investigation is currently going on. But I have to say, I'm thankful for the folks who once the warning came up, and once notification came up that there was a mayday, who literally, by being able to stop cars from coming over the bridge, these people are heroes. They saved lives last night.
Brian Bell.
Governor, the focus is on rescue now and humanity. But looking forward, is there any vision for how long it could possibly take to remove the wreckage, to rebuild, and how it could possibly be done? Can you look into the future at all at this point?
This is going to be a long-term build. It's going to be a build that's going to require every facet and every aspect of our society. It is something that I can tell you, we are going to get this done. We are going to make sure that this is not just rebuilt, but that we are going to rebuild in a way that remembers the people who this tragedy has impacted, and also do it in a way that honors the community that it serves. But right now, I could not give you any form of estimate on timing or cost. Right now, my and all of our exclusive focus is we're just trying to save lives.
Can the mayor talk on the state of emergency locally, please?
Yes, thank you. Listen, we know the governor issued a state of emergency, but we at the local level felt the need to do that too, because there may be some things that we have to encumber with our fire department and other agencies that we'll be able to pull down support for as we all work together, again, as we're focused right now on saving lives and working through this unspeakable tragedy.
In the interim, I know that there's obviously the focus is on the rescue and the recovery, but this is such an important thoroughfare here in Baltimore for drivers, people trying to get around. How are they going to be able to manage while that is also going on?
Yeah, so we've also already been in touch with people about alternative routes and ways people can navigate now that this tragedy has happened. And I don't know, Secretary, if you want to speak to that as well.
Just to give you a sense of scale, roughly about 35,000 people a day use that facility. About double that use the Harbor Tunnel, and double that again use the Fort McHenry Tunnel. So basically, we do have those 2 other options. We'll make sure that we have as much personnel out there to deal with any incidents, because as you know, that can cause the backups very quickly. And we will basically put out a lot of communications on different alternatives. We're also looking at transit alternatives as well.
What role will the legislature play in this response? What role will the legislature play in this response? Are there any policies, any state funding that's going to be freed up up in the coming weeks?
Oh yeah, no. So we are in fact, we have our Senate President here. We have members of the legislature here. The legislature is going to have a role in all of this, as will our local elected officials, as will state officials, as will the federal government. Everybody is going to have a role in terms of how we think about the rebuild.
Governor, how long do you expect shipping to be closed down through the port? Do you have any estimate in terms of the port here?
We don't at this point.
But
we
no
don't at this
ships
point.
are going in or out at this time.
Correct. Yeah, we don't have an estimate on timeline as of yet. Our focus really is right now on just make sure we're saving lives.
One last question.
Did that person die in the hospital? Are they able to get out at all or no?
I'm sorry, say it again.
The ships the vessels that are currently docked at the port, are they able to get out or no?
The one that's captured under the is that
Still at port.
Oh yes, that one's still at port. Yes.
We'll take one
Governor,
last
one last question.
Yes, ma'am.
Was the ship being guided out by tugs, firstly? And secondly, did you just say that it issued a mayday in enough time that you were able to stop all traffic from entering both sides, so that the only casualties we expect are the workers on the bridge?
Yes, ma'am. So the investigation is still going on, so we're going to have all the full details and also all the full details about the timeline and the TikTok that took place. But we're thankful that between the Mayday and the collapse that we had officials who were able to begin to stop the flow of traffic, so more cars were not up on the bridge. And I can.
But there were some on the bridge, or not? Were there any
during the collapse?
Yeah, were there some on the bridge? There have been reports that have been sonar that have detected vehicles at the bottom of the water. So as well as the 8 people, there could still be people trapped inside or potentially have died in vehicles. Is that correct?
I think, well, the investigation is still going on to find out exactly how many people and what was the situation. But the thing that we do know is that many of the vehicles were stopped before they got onto the bridge, which saved lives in a very, very heroic way.
Thank you.
We'll have another update later. Thank you.
This is a huge detail. We don't know how many.
You were just listening to a news conference about the bridge collapse in Baltimore. A lot of officials there. You just heard from the governor of Baltimore. The big thing that we're going to take away from this news conference that we just heard is we got a little more confirmation on the numbers here. So they were saying that they were searching for 8 people in total. All of these people were construction crews that were on the bridge repairing potholes. They were not doing anything structurally to the bridge. They were just repairing the potholes. At this point, 6 people are still being searched for. They did rescue 2 earlier this morning. We're told 1 person is still in the hospital. The other person did not need treatment. Another thing that they really talked about big here was that there was a mayday on the ship. Someone on the crew of the ship notified authorities of a power outage and called a mayday. At that point, they were able to stop a lot of the traffic on the bridge from coming and going. What we don't know at this point, and what the governor just said, is if there were any still vehicles exactly on the bridge when this happened. We know earlier this morning that authorities had said they had sonar of vehicles in the water. We don't know what vehicles those belong to at this point.
And if you watch the video of the actual bridge collapse, you can see lights on the ship seem to flicker on and off. No word if that is actually when that power outage happened. Everybody's saying that this is obviously an ongoing investigation. They're going to continue to look on it, but that Mayday that they're talking about that stopped the cars from entering the bridge, possibly preventing further tragedy from happening. Obviously, everybody's saying first and foremost, the victims' families are on their hearts. Their hearts are broken down there in Maryland and in Baltimore. Senator Van Hollen saying that he spoke to Pete Buttigieg, the Secretary of Transportation, about releasing emergency funds. Here's the bridge again collapsing when the cargo ship, nearly 1,000 feet long cargo ship, was just beginning its voyage, crashed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge, one of 3 crossings of the Patapsco River in that section of the city. The other 2, obviously 95 and 895. This bridge, the Scott Key Bridge, transports nearly 35,000 people each and every day. Now everybody being redirected to those other 2. They're tunnels, they're not bridges. So those are still operational, but right now still searching for those victims. They're still calling it a search and rescue.
And they want to be clear here. Not only did the governor say this, but the FBI reiterated it, that at this point they do not believe there is any sort of terrorism connection. They're calling it at this point, early stages of the investigation, that it is an accident. And that's what we're hearing about, that the power outage went out and that continued the Mayday call, which potentially saved lives. And they are deploying every asset they have. You know, it was a really heartfelt moment. You heard a lot of the officials there saying how their hearts are with the people of Baltimore, especially the people who they're still searching for at this point. And as they're saying this, you can hear the search helicopters behind them. I mean, this has been going on for hours now. This happened around 1:50 this morning. It's over 9 hours about so that they are still searching for these people, and it is a wide area. We know the water temperature is cold. They're dealing with currents. This is an active space where they continue to search.
They said they're searching in the air, they're searching on the water, and then in the water with crews obviously looking under the surface. Danielle's been talking about the high tide and low tide right now. I believe they said the tide is going out. It will continue to be going out until 1:30, around 1:30 this afternoon, as we're taking a live look now of some of those rescue crews leaving some of the boat ramps in that area. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back after this.
Why sell your car at WeBuyAnyCar.com? Because when you trade in, you're dealing with a dealer.
Ooh, I won again. What are the odds? Hey, double or nothing?
On average, people pay $990 more when they trade in. Come to WeBuyAnyCar.com instead. All we do is buy cars. Get in, get out, and get paid at a fair price.
Nice.
Don't gamble with dealers. Get your free online valuation now at
WeBuyAnyCar.com. Chocolate bunnies, candy, and baskets might not always be on your shopping list, but they can still earn you Wise rewards throughout the store. It doesn't matter if you're preparing for an Easter egg hunt, a Sunday brunch, or the inevitable midday nap that follows. At Wise, the savings are hiding in plain sight. Shop and save on your favorite items this Easter season and earn Wise rewards towards food, fuel, or even a free holiday ham.
Eat better, spend less. That's Wise.
A new era of spring football kicks off. The USFL champs versus the XFL champs. UFL kickoff weekend begins Saturday at 1 on Fox.
My sister-in-law got deported, and I need her and her son back home.
You made a deal with the devil.
The Cleaning Lady is TV's most captivating show.
Can you trust these connections? People die on those routes.
Tonight, it's all new.
My family's not here. Something happened.
We made a pit stop in the desert. They never came back.
You just left them. No, please!
And it's a race against time.
I'm not leaving my family to die in the desert. It's all my fault.
The Cleaning Lady, all new tonight on Fox.
From Red Lion, York County, Lizzie Hale turned a family band into Grammy Award winners. Her band, Hailstorm, has released multiple albums and worked with many notable artists. Hale's success has given her another stage, fighting sexism in the music industry. Her activism focuses on supporting future female, non-binary, and transgender musicians.
Thanks for sticking with us for our extended breaking news coverage on Fox 43. I'm Sean Stryker.
And I'm Jackie DeTore. We're staying with you this morning because of the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore. That bridge collapsed early this morning, around 1:50 this morning, after it was hit by a cargo ship.
A massive search and rescue effort now underway. Crews are searching in the air, on the water, and in the water. What we know at this point was that 8 people have been confirmed involved in this situation. 2 have been found. They're still searching for 6 as of this morning.
And we know that they are saying at this point that they are all members of a construction crew that were on the bridge at the time. We're talking again around 1 o'clock this morning, that they were doing pothole repair at that point. So they have the crew searching for those people. We also know that the boat that hit was a Mayday call that was able to stop some ongoing traffic from entering either side of the bridge. But we're still unclear at this point if any passenger vehicles were on the bridge at the time. We did just hear from officials who were not able to confirm that. We did just hear from that press conference, and right now joining us is Fox 43's Syara Williams. She's been there with us all morning. Syara, what's the latest, what you can tell us?
Yeah, Jackie, exactly what you said. We just heard from the mayor as well as the governor on the research or the search and rescue effort that's going into this collapse that happened early this morning. Now, we are still unclear about how many vehicles are actually in the river after this collapse. I'm going to give you a look at what we're looking at right now. This is the Francis Scott Key Bridge, and as you can see, that road is still blocked off. Now, they did say that the port will be closed, but trucks coming out of it, transporting goods, will still be able to come out of it. And again, we know that they are looking for, there were 8 individuals, 6 of which are a part of the construction crew, and 2 were pulled from the water. Now, we know 1 has serious injuries, while the other did not need any medical care at all. Now, we also know that the crew had notified local authorities about a power outage on the ship and that it was coming in at a very rapid speed. Now, they were able to allow some traffic flow from going onto the bridge before the cargo ship hit the bridge, but there were vehicles as well as construction crew on the bridge when it did collapse. Now, again, they said that this has brought in a crisis response as well as victim services, water search rescues, multiple resources as well as personnel from in-state and out of state. We heard the mayor as well as the governor say, Secretary Buttigieg said that he will be expediting transportation funds to help rebuild this bridge, as well as other resources, hearing from the White House and what they are going to do to band together as well as help the Maryland come together as one. Now, again, they are still continuing this search and rescue effort in this entire collapse, and more details and information will soon come out, so make sure you stay with us on air and online. But for now, in Baltimore, Sierra Williams, Fox 43 News.
Sierra, we know that this has now become a national story. We can see just standing near you, all of the national media that is out there talking about what's going on. You've been there since the early hours of this morning, and we know you've been there during the peak of the search and rescue efforts. Can you explain to us kind of what you're seeing, what you're hearing out there?
Scott, you're in my ear.
Sierra, if you can.
Of course, we'll be checking in with Sierra shortly. I also want to talk about the weather components to this whole situation and the search and rescue efforts, because the waters here in this part of the country, well, they're cold. We've got buoys and sensors all along this part where we've got temperatures in the 40s when it comes to those water temperatures. So a chilly situation for those divers and the people that need to be out there doing the search and rescue. I'm also keeping an eye on some of these tides that we're watching. Now, this is from Fort McHenry, which is over closer to the Inner Harbor, but the levels are similar. High tide was earlier this morning at 8:20, so waters are receding. They're going out. Low tide will be later on this afternoon, just after 3 o'clock or so. So we'll be watching as those currents potentially could have some impacts on some of these divers as they're in the water. So something we'll continue to keep an eye on. Skies are cloudy, but things are quiet when it comes to the weather in Baltimore and across the entire mid-Atlantic. Things are pretty good. A little bit of rainfall out to the west. That doesn't make it to our region until we go overnight. So overall, things are fairly quiet when it comes to the forecast for any of these rescue efforts today.
We're continuing our breaking news coverage this morning as that massive search and rescue effort continues. We have another crew headed to the scene right now, and traffic's going to continue to be an issue for anyone who needs to head into Baltimore today. We're checking in with Fox 43's Alyssa Kratz to see what those roads are looking like right now. Alyssa, what are you seeing and experiencing?
Hey, Gabby. Good morning. So we are headed to the media staging area where, of course, Sierra and our photographer Dave are staged right now, and that is located on Authority Drive down by the Francis Scott Key Bridge. So we are coming from our station in York and went south on 83, headed down towards the Towson area, and had to hop onto 695, which we're just about to get off of. And so far, traffic really doesn't seem to be impacted this far up. We do believe that as we get a little bit closer to the bridge that we might start to see those traffic backups. There were signs posted along 695, flashing digital signs saying Key Bridge closed. So, of course, that's something that, of course, they are trying to let drivers, be aware of if they aren't already. Where the media staging area is, Authority Drive, it can only be accessed through Broning Highway right now because of that bridge collapse. So we will see as we get a little bit closer. We're about 10, 15 minutes away from where we need to be. But so far, smooth sailing, honestly, from this part of Maryland that we are in right now.
We will continue to check in with you. It'll be interesting to see how it is as she gets a little bit closer to the area. As we continue to follow those search and rescue efforts, we're looking back into the history of the Francis Scott Key Bridge. Maryland Transportation Authority says the bridge opened March 23rd of 1977. So just days ago, it officially marked 47 years in service. The 1.6-mile Key Bridge crosses over the river and its outermost 3 toll crossings of Baltimore's harbor. It's named in honor of the author of the Star-Spangled Banner, Francis Scott Key. And when the bridge was completed, it became the final links in the Interstate 695. The bridge cost an estimated $110 million to build and was the best alternative to a tunnel at the time because it allowed for more traffic lanes and carried lower operating and maintenance costs. The bridge also allowed for a route across the Baltimore harbor for cars or vehicles that were transporting hazardous materials. As we head into break, we're going to take a look at what we've been seeing throughout the morning, that aerial footage from Baltimore, the damage from the collapse this morning. We now know 2 people have been rescued from the water, one of them seriously hurt, and crews continue to look for 6 other people in the water. We have live coverage for you continuing all morning long. We're going to be checking in with Fox 43's Tyler Hatfield in just a few minutes.
Are you excited for a night of TV magic?
Fox Wednesday, which of these stars will take the lead on TV theme night?
Iconic.
But wait, a new secret celebrity.
Love and marriage.
This feels like Ryan Seacrest.
I think that this is Anderson Cooper.
Might be Andy Cohen. He was the star in his theater class.
Or in his mom's living room.
The Masked Singer, all new Wednesday on Fox.
Hurt on the job? Put experienced attorneys on your side. At HHR, we have a certified specialist in workers' compensation law. We know how the system works. Hurt on the job? You don't have to look far. Call HHR. Just dial 2s.
Do I love speed walking? No. Honestly, I just got into this because my car insurance rates got way too expensive. And I needed a faster way to, do life stuff. But now that I found affordable insurance, there's no slowing me down.
With a super low down payment, Direct Auto lets you stop compromising and keep driving.
All Free Clear is the #1 doctor-recommended brand for sensitive skin.
Whether you have a family with sensitive skin,
Or you do yourself.
For a gentle and effective clean, all you need is All Free Clear.
I got hurt in a car accident. Why should I call Freeburn?
Because when you're hurt, you need money, and we'll fight to get it for you. We'll help you get free from your car accident problems. We got a client who was in a car accident and tore his rotator cuff $145,000. Another client needed eye surgery, and we got her $600,000. And they deserved every single penny.
Get free with Freeburn.
If you've been hurt in a car accident, call the 7s and get free with Freeburn.
Get free with Freeburn. Call 777-7777.
With Home Chef, home cooking is so simple, you go from step 1 to done with practically no fuss. And now you get easy, stress-free meals with our family menu. These delicious 4-serving meals with family-friendly flavors take the stress out of mealtime with easy prep and easy cleanup. Simply prep, cook, and enjoy with the whole family. Delicious meets simple. Get 18 free meals today at homechef.com.
Get Fox 43 Plus and catch our special reports, archival stories, weather forecasts, and classic Pete McT episodes. Available for free on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
We continue to follow the breaking news out of Maryland this morning with the latest on the Francis Scott Key Bridge that is now collapsed. We have team coverage of what has been happening as well as the rescue efforts as well.
Yeah, Fox 43's Sarah Williams, we just heard from her. Now we want to get out to Fox 43's Tyler Hatfield. He's also on the scene, but he's on the south end of the bridge. Tyler, you're by a boat ramp. This has been a very busy boat ramp all morning with crews launching their search boats. We just saw one leaving not too long ago. Is there still activity out there? Are there still boats coming and going? What are you seeing?
Yeah, Sean, all morning long we've been seeing police personnel and others just driving past with a bunch of search and rescue boats and rafts coming into those boat ramps here at Fort Armistead Park. We're right along Fort Armistead Road, and you can see that police personnel and Maryland Transportation Authority have blocked off the roads to allow those vehicles to get to those boat ramps. So like you said, it's been a very busy morning here. Now, we heard in that press conference that this search and rescue effort is expansive. There's many counties that are cooperating and participating in this search and rescue. And we also learned that there was a total of 8 people that they were searching for. Now, 2 of those people, one was taken out and he has serious injuries. The other was taken out and refused service. So 2 people have been accounted for, where they're still looking for 6. Now, we're talking about this cargo ship. It's a large cargo ship with a bunch of shipping containers on top. Now, this thing laid out a mayday call and saying something about a power outage when it hit that support beam, causing the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge. Now, again, this is an expansive search and rescue effort, and their main concern is to help the people that are in the water right now. They're kind of putting the back burner on talking about the rebuilding process. But again, this is an expansive project, and they also said it could lead to a lot of difficulty.
Section.
All right, well, Tyler, thank you so much.
This is a tricky operation to put divers in the water in this condition. It's a very large area that we're going to be searching, and just keep them in your thoughts and prayers as well. We're going to continue this operation as long as it takes. They're putting their training to work. We're going to work our hardest, and we're going to do our damnedest to find these people. That's our goal.
Now, again, first and foremost, they are worried about the search and rescue effort. Their main goal is to get those people out of the water as soon as they can. And like he said, it is going to be a difficult mission to do so with those divers in the water, with those receding tides, and also that water temperature. So for more information, head to our website, fox43.com, but we'll have expansive live coverage all morning long. But for now, in Baltimore, Tyler Hatfield, Fox 43 News.
All right, thanks so much, Tyler. And we've heard from a lot of state, local, and even federal officials in Baltimore, but now our governor, Josh Shapiro's office, has released a statement.
He's saying, quote, that Governor Shapiro has been in communication with Governor Moore of Maryland this morning to offer Pennsylvania support and let him know that the Shapiro administration stands ready to deliver any assistance necessary as rescue efforts continue after this tragic incident at Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge, end quote.
And we are going to continue to cover this story all morning long. This is one of the latest looks we've had, aerial views of that ship still there and the remnants of the Francis Scott Key Bridge lying on top of that cargo ship. The investigation continues. We are being told at this point, FBI saying they do not believe this is any sort of act of terrorism. At this point, they believe it is an accident. And at this moment, they are continuing to search for at least 6 more people who they believe were construction crews on the bridge at the time of the collapse. We're going to have a lot more coming up. We're going to check in with Fox 43's Sarah Williams and Tyler Hatfield throughout the morning. Also, Fox 43's Alyssa Kratz, who is taking the commute that people in our area would be driving down to that area today. She's taking that commute right now to see how the roads and the alternate routes are looking as well. Stay with us on Fox 43.
T-Mobile coverage in my area is wonderful.
We have 8 acres, and it gives you peace of mind to know that you're going to have a reliable signal.
We enjoy hiking. We enjoy the outdoors. The coverage has been great.
And after investing billions to light up our network from big cities to small towns, T-Mobile is America's largest and fastest 5G network. See for yourself. Try T-Mobile's network free for 3 months. Your phone, our network, no strings.
Are you tired of stepping into your old, worn-out bathroom day in and day out? Every day at West Shore Home, we're helping hundreds of homeowners replace that old, outdated bath with something that they love. And right now, I've got some exciting news. We're making it more affordable than ever to get that bathroom remodeling project started right now. I'm offering 12 months of no payments and no interest. That means you can completely refresh your bathroom space and not worry about making your first payment until 2025. And I'm going to do one more thing. For a limited time, I'm going to completely waive the cost of installation and do free install on all bathroom remodeling projects. To lock in this offer, just call the number on your screen.
Oh my gosh, that is totally different. This is awesome.
Yes. Yes. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful.
Our teams of employee installers are dedicated to providing a top-of-the-line experience to every customer we serve. And that shines through in our online reviews. Head over to westshorebath.com or just Google West Shore Home and check them out for yourself. Choose from hundreds of styles and options to make your bathroom your dream space. And guess what? You don't need to sacrifice that modern look to get safety features. We have tons of options to look sleek and modern while still providing peace of mind in the bathroom. Give us a call to schedule that free, no-obligation design consultation.
Save big when you choose West Shore Home for your bathroom remodeling project. Imagine getting your bathroom remodel completely finished and not making your first payment until next year. Well, they're making that happen with 12 months of no payments and no interest. On top of that, they're waiving all installation costs and offering free installation for anyone that wants to get a new bath now while saving big. Don't miss out on this amazing offer. Call West Shore Home now. Again, call West Shore Home to lock in this limited time offer and save big on your bathroom remodeling project.
We know it can be hard to spot misinformation.
That's why we're here.
The Verified team fact-checks viral claims and answers your questions. Want something verified? Contact us.
Now, as we've been following this breaking news all morning long on the bridge collapse in Baltimore, a lot of people are wondering, how can a bridge this size collapse what seemed like instantly?
Joining us now on the phone to give us more insight is Akeisha Belgrave, Associate Professor and Engineering Program Lead from Harrisburg University. Thanks again for sticking with us this morning, Akeisha. So we want to get right to your initial response. When you saw something like this, obviously with your training, the bridge collapsed the way it did. When you saw that, what was the first thing that you thought?
The first thing I thought about is how often the bridge was checked. I'm sure they're up to the code and checking the bridge as often, but my initial thought was, were they keeping up with checking on the bridge and what was actually happening on the bridge at the time? Also, where did the ship hit based on my background?
And we know this bridge was built in 1977, so we're talking 47, almost 50 years ago at this point. Can you give us a little bit of insight? We know we have aging infrastructure in this country. Is a bridge that is 50 years old, is that considered an old bridge?
It is considered an old bridge, but once you keep up with the all of the inspections and everything like that, they can make different maneuvers to make sure that the structures are sound with inspection and everything. I think that the infrastructure should hold up.
Being the location of this bridge, obviously the Patapsco River heads into the Port of Baltimore, the Baltimore Inner Harbor. Massive ships like this, cruise ships go under it frequently, almost every day, if not every day. Are bridges designed to take an impact like this? This ship was massive, almost 1,000 feet long. Is that considered when the design process is underway?
Definitely. So they want to make sure, anytime they're building a bridge, to make sure that there are structural reinforcements, just to make sure that they can withstand potential impact from loads, especially loads coming from a ship collision. They ensure that they have reinforcements. Different crash barriers are more than likely installed on the bridge as well, at points that are vulnerable along the entire bridge. And also they want to take into consideration clearance, so navigation clearance, that is kind of calculated and designed so that the bridge can have adequate vertical and horizontal clearance for the vesicles. I'm sure a lot of this was taken into account as the engineers were building this bridge.
Obviously, right now, our thoughts are with the victims. Everybody's considered and focusing on the rescue efforts. Eventually, that will shift to rebuilding. How long of a timeline are we looking at? How long does it take to design and then build a bridge that handles nearly 35,000 cars a day?
So I am not sure I can give an exact number. I can say that it's going to take months to years. The duration of the actual building of the bridge can vary significantly depending on various factors like the complexity of the bridge design when they're building the bridge, the size and scope of the project. Also, they have to take into consideration different environmental factors, regulatory requirements that are current. I mean, the bridge was built since 1977, so I'm sure there are different requirements now that they also have to take into consideration. And then the availability of resources will also impact that duration of the upcoming design of or rebuilding of this bridge.
Can you give us a little bit of, in layman's term, the engineering situation that happens here, from where exactly that ship hit? What was that connecting point? And were you surprised to see that much of the bridge collapse?
Yes and no. Based on the impact of the bridge, the ship could have hit in areas which would exert immense force on the structure of the bridge. It depends on a vessel and how large this vessel was, the speed that it was coming at or traveling at. If it kind of slammed into like the support piers, any structural members or anything like that, could have led to any structural failures. I'm not surprised that it actually collapsed because you can only do so far as well as the length of the bridge to make sure you have enough support beams and everything up there to ensure that it does not collapse. But given the speed that it probably was likely coming at, it would not have just taken down piece of that entire bridge.
And these are the things that are going to continue to be the questions that are asked. We know we are in the very early stages of this investigation, but we appreciate your insight. Great information that you're giving us here. And I'm sure as the rebuilding process and the investigation continues, we'll have a lot more questions. But for now, thanks so much for being with us this morning. Fox 43 Morning News. We'll be right back.
Injured in an accident? When you need results fast, call Schmidt Kramer. We've won millions of dollars for accident victims.
Schmidt Kramer, don't wait, dial the ace, 888-8888.
Schwarzkopf, dare to tell your story with Keratin Blonde by Schwarzkopf. Lighten your hair up to 9 levels and protect it from breakage with our bond enforcing system. Let your hair tell your story. Schwarzkopf Keratin Blonde. What story will you tell?
On Medicare? Have diabetes? With the Freestyle Libre 3 system, you'll know your glucose and where it's headed. No finger sticks needed. Now covered by Medicare for more people managing diabetes with insulin. Visit freestylelibre.us/Medicare.
The path to Vanlightenment is a personal journey. A journey of inner peace.
It's how I learned to compartmentalize my life.
And how I learned to go further than I ever imagined.
Sometimes the journey gets a little messy. But I am calm within. I am Pacifica.
The 2023 Chrysler Pacifica.
Get 10% below MSRP. Plus, you may qualify for up to a $7,500 federal tax credit on the 2023 Pacifica Plug-in Hybrid Touring L.
The wet food cats ask for by name.
A young woman forges her own path to happiness. The true crime story of a York mayor. People confronting the realities of chronic illnesses. These are all books from local authors and a part of the Fox 43 Book Club. You're invited to join us every month at virtual meetings as we read and discuss works from all genres. Be part of the conversation and explore your love for reading. Find out more at our Facebook group. And we'll see you at the Fox 43 Book Club.
Get the Fox 43 Plus app and watch our award-winning news investigations. Revisit archival stories from Pennsylvania history and check out our 24/7 live stream of specials and shows. Soar over scenic views. Plan your day with our Weather Smart forecast. And stream classic Pete McTee's Clubhouse episodes whenever you want. Fox 43 Plus, available for free on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
A new era of spring football kicks off. Saturday, the USFL champs versus the XFL champs. The heavyweight matchup that the fans deserve. Spring just got stronger. UFL kickoff weekend begins Saturday at 1 on Fox.
We know it can be hard to spot misinformation.
That's why we're here.
The Verified team fact-checks viral claims and answers your questions. Want something verified? Contact us.
We're getting straight to breaking news out of Baltimore, where the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed when a massive cargo ship crashes into it at 1:30 this morning, sending it into the water below.
And we know at this point that that cargo ship lost power, alerted the authorities, and that's how this whole thing started before that bridge collapsed. At this point, they are still looking for at least 6 people who they believe were part of a construction crew that was on the bridge at the time this morning repairing potholes. That search for those 6 people still very active right now. We're going to go to Fox 43's Syra Williams, who joins us now in Baltimore, near where the scene is unfolding. Syra, what's the latest you can tell us there?
Yeah, good morning, Jackie and Sean. So we're breaking it down like this. We know that 8 individuals were involved, 6 of which were construction workers and 2 were pulled out of the water. Now, we know that 1 person of the 2 that were pulled out was taken to the hospital with serious injuries, while the other one did not need to be treated. Now, we're standing at the Maryland Authority Transportation Center right on the north side of the bridge. And as you can see, roads have been blocked off since 1:30 this morning. And again, the search and rescue efforts have been continuing with the U.S. Coast Guard on scene, as well as multiple military personnel, FBI, just resources from every part of the division, as well as states involved. Now, right now, we know that the cargo ship had sent out a distress call to local authorities for a power outage on board, which caused the local authorities to react, as well as stop flow from traffic onto the bridge. However, we do not know how many vehicles were on the bridge at the time of the collapse, what caused this power outage, and how many people were on board of that ship that now sits under the Francis Scott Key Bridge as of right now. Now we know the FBI is also investigating, and right now they say there is no indication of terrorism, but the investigation is ongoing. They also said that they are extending their resources in helping out with Maryland. They brought in crisis response, victim services, as well as water search rescue teams on site. And again, we heard from the governor as well as the Secretary Department of Transportation of Maryland, who says that the construction crews were on the bridge early this morning repairing potholes, as well as making sure that the area was being able to take detours. Now, again, the investigation into exactly what happened around 1:30 this morning is continuing. The search and rescue efforts are still continuing. I don't know if you can see it, but right up there you can see a chopper continuing to go over the river and look for those individuals that we know are now 6 construction workers in this rescue effort. So make sure you guys stay with us on air and online as details continue to come out. But for now, in Baltimore, Syra Williams, Fox 43 News.
Sarah, thank you. All right, well, we want to show you exactly where the Francis Scott Key Bridge is. We've been showing you this map all morning. This right here, this outer loop, that's referred to as 695. That is the belt around Baltimore. Obviously, if you continue up 83, you get to us here in Pennsylvania, York and Harrisburg. This right here, this is where the Francis Scott Key Bridge is located. This is what collapsed. This is why it is in complete red. The good news is, if you can find some good news, is there are 2 other crossings, 2 tunnels, the 95 tunnel and then the 895 tunnel. cars that are traveling down towards Baltimore, down further south from this area, from the northern parts of Maryland, right here where 695 crosses 95 and 895, they now have to get off and use those routes. Obviously, this is a no-go. This is completely shut down. Sierra, if you're wondering where she's located for her reports, it's in this area. Tyler is on the opposite side of the Patapsco River. This Patapsco River heads into the Baltimore Harbor. This is the Port of Baltimore, obviously a massive port along the East Coast. We're going to be keeping a close eye on this, obviously, as we have been all morning, and we'll be right back after the break.
My Signature hybrid mattress
versus this leading brand name hybrid mattress. Both combine types of memory foam with inner spring coils.
But my Signature is just $9.99. Theirs is $21.99.
Sure, they're not exactly the same, but is theirs worth so much more?
Oh my Bob!
I got hurt in a car accident. Why should I call Freeburn?
Because when you're hurt, you need money and we'll fight to get it for you. We got a client who broke their collarbone in a car accident, $137,500. If you've been hurt in a car accident, get free with Freeburn.
Rough start to your day? Try new Dial Exfoliating Body Wash with a touch of creamy cocoa butter and orange extract. Reveals soft and healthy feeling skin after just one shower. Dial up your day.
Look at this. A Medicare plan with a prepaid card for healthy groceries and other expenses.
Is that from Aetna?
Yeah. Why?
I have an Aetna Medicare plan. I get a prepaid card with a monthly allowance I can use on groceries, utilities, even rent.
Really?
Yep. You should give them a call.
I guess it can't hurt the call.
Never hurts the call.
If you're eligible for Medicare and Medicaid, call us at 1-877-38-AETNA. We'll explain benefits you may be eligible for. Our dual eligible special needs plan offers a $7,000 dental benefit for covered dental services, $0 copays on covered Part D prescriptions, plus a monthly allowance for groceries, OTC, and utilities.
So I can get all of these benefits on top of what I already get?
That's right. You keep your Medicaid benefits and get even more from Aetna Medicare.
Wow.
Let me walk you through the plan. Make sure your doctor and prescriptions are covered, and talk about the local support you'll get.
Call 1-877-38-AETNA today, and let's make healthier happen together.
So, did it hurt the call?
No, not at all.
At Safelite, we'll take care of fixing your windshield. But did you know we can take care of your insurance claim? That means less stress for you.
Thanks.
My pleasure. Have a good one.
You too.
Schedule today at Safelite.com.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
This is internet that's not just fast. This is like hold on to your eyeballs fast. Get double the speed for half the price, only $25 a month. The fastest ever. Fast at the speed of last minute recipes, series finales, teenage gossip, and destroying these guys. For the win. Do it all at once, fast.
We have Fox 43's Tyler Hatfield standing by. Cyril Williams was on one side of the bridge. Tyler is on the other side of the bridge where he's been seeing a lot of crews with boats come back and forth.
Yeah, it's a major boat ramp, obviously entering into the Patapsco River, almost underneath where the bridge would have been. So this has been a very active scene. Tyler.
Yeah, Sean, Jackie, this is kind of where mainly most of the search and rescue operations are taking place. Now, we are at Fort Armistead, just outside Fort Armistead Park. We're right along Fort Armistead Road, and you can see that Maryland Transportation Authority and police personnel are blocking off the road, not allowing any cars in, but they are allowing a lot of those search and rescue teams in, police personnel, and we saw many boats, rafts, heading over to those boat ramps in Fort Armistead Park. Now, this is an expansive search and rescue. We just learned from the Governor of Westmore and other local officials that they were searching for 8 people, 8 construction workers that were working on the bridge overnight. Now, the boat that hit the bridge, now they let out a mayday call because of a power outage, and that caused traffic to stop on the bridge, thankfully not allowing any more traffic to get on the bridge during that collapse. Now, like I said, it is an expansive search and rescue. We spoke to Fire Chief of Baltimore City, James Wallace, and he told us that many search and rescue teams from many other counties were coming here for this effort. Places from Hartford County, we have Anne Arundel, St. George's. We've been seeing their trucks coming back and forth all here on Fort Armistead Road to help in this effort. And while a lot of people are asking about the traffic on 695 or when this bridge is going to rebuild, that's not on Chief Wallace's mind. His mind is to make sure that all human lives get out of that water and as the search and rescue continues. Live in Baltimore, I'm Tyler Hackett, Fox 43 News.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota. Wow.
Nice.
Thanks, bud.
Buy a sporty Camry right now with low 4.75 APR financing. Toyota, let's go places.
Helping injured Pennsylvanians. That's what the attorneys at Handler, Henning, and Rosenberg have been doing for over 100 years. Every day we see the pain and devastation car crashes and workplace injuries can cause. At HHR, we want to make a difference in people's lives. We can help you overcome the obstacles after a serious injury. If you want a law firm who will go above and beyond for you, you don't have to look far. Call HHR, helping injured Pennsylvanians since 1922. Just dial 2s.
Is your home headed for foreclosure? Has it been abandoned or is it in disrepair? At Girls Buy Houses, we provide you with options and find solutions that best suit you. We buy as is, so pack what you need and just leave the rest to us. We are flexible with your timeline and can have cash in your pocket in less than 2 weeks. If you need to sell your home fast, visit us online today at girlsbuyhouses2.com.
The magical time between school letting out and dinner is a piece of chaos. These kids are just so much fun. Home Chef's family menu has been a lifesaver. There's no mess, at least not from dinner. These 4-serving meals make everything so much easier.
Home Chef's family menu. Family dinner doesn't suck anymore. Get 18 free meals at homechef.com.
Patriot is different from other home care agencies. They take the time to recognize their employees, and the benefits are great.
If you're a caregiver taking care of a family member or unhappy with the home care agency you are using now, today's a great time to join the Patriot Home Care family. Ask about our flexible hours, weekly pay, excellent benefits, and $1,000 sign-on bonus. That's right, Patriot Home Care is offering for a limited time a $1,000 sign-on bonus. We are different than other agencies. Let us show you how. Call Patriot Home Care today.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota. So, which one do you want? This one. Wow.
Right now, get low APR financing on a stylish new Corolla sedan or hatchback. Toyota, let's go places.
We continue to follow the breaking news out of Baltimore as the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapses early this morning. We want to give you a timeline of the events that led up to this bridge collapse. Around 1:30 this morning, the crew of the nearly 1,000-foot Dolly, the cargo ship, issued a mayday saying that there was a loss of power. That ship then crossed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge shortly before 1:30, sending it into the water below.
And as that was happening, there were construction crews on that bridge. They were repairing potholes. We know there were at least 8 of them. At this point, 2 have been rescued. 1 is in the hospital. 1, they say, did not need to be seen by any doctors or anything like that, which means they are still at this hour looking for 6 people. And we're talking now 9 hours of them continuing to search for these people here. And this is the scene that we're dealing with. The ship is still there. The bridge is lying on top of the ship. But the governor was also saying some of the people on board the ship were heroes at this point because they were able to issue and alert local authorities that they lost power on that ship. And that way they were able to alert people to stop going onto the bridge in both directions. Now, at this point, they haven't been able to tell us exactly if any passenger vehicles were on the bridge at the time, but we do know that they are searching for 6 people at this point. We also know the Maryland governor, Wes Moore, took time earlier this morning to recognize the quick response to the collapse.
To our first responders, I'm in awe of you. I'm in awe of your courage. I'm in awe of your strength. I'm in awe of everything you do for each and every one of us. You saw a crisis, and you said, what can I do to help?
Obviously, right now, the main focus is still on a search, rescue, and recovery. Crews are searching, federal, state, and local crews are searching in the air, on the water, and in the water, battling the cold water temperatures and the tides. Right now, the tide is going out there in Baltimore. Fort McHenry, obviously, just next to the Francis Scott Key Bridge. The tide will be going out until around 1:30 this afternoon.
And we are going to have coverage of this all day long because we have extended coverage. The reason being that we know a lot of people in our area go down to Baltimore for work or things like that. So we did send Fox 43's Alyssa Kratz. She went down there just to see what it's actually looking like. We keep telling people about the detours that they can take to get around something like this, but we want to know how long it's actually taking. So we're going to be back here at noon today with more coverage for that as well.
Yeah, be sure to tune in live about an hour. And remember, you can always catch all the information on our website, fox43.com.
The adventure when your favorite Disney friends visit your hometown at Disney on Ice presents Into the Magic. Tickets on sale now. Playing the Giant Center this week. Great seats available. For tickets and show details, visit DisneyOnIce.com.
Linda, when folks hear about Renewal by Andersen, we automatically think windows and patio doors. But you also sell and install front entry doors, right?
I am excited to tell you our long-awaited Ensemble entry door system is now available. Our multi-point locking system will certainly add a new level of security to your home. And like our windows, our front entry door systems are custom built with every feature you pick.
Appointments are filling up fast. Call now for your down-to-the-penny price quote.